Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to TRS Live with your hosts Brian Keller, Matt Schratz, and Zach Hoffman, presented by The Real Shot.
I'ma do this here forever.
EQ.
Forever.
Triune.
Forever.
Yeah.
Forever. I'ma do this here forever.
Let's go.
All you haters better get comfy. This the day you've been waiting on. Y'all road is finna get bumpy. This the track I'm making my statement on. I ain't going nowhere. This the place that I'm making home. I'll do this shit forever. Hit the gas and I'm taking off. Ow. I was born with passion. My job is never ending and my hustle's everlasting. No matter what, I'm gon' ball, even with my back to the wall. And the best part is that this is the beginning. I'ma do this here forever. Forever.
What's going on, everybody? Happy Monday. This is an awesome show today. Brian is not around today, but Lance is here.
Hey guys.
This is Lance Kozik. Lance, what's your role here at The Real Shot?
Run the website, so all the e-commerce stuff. I like to get involved in a little bit of everything, but mostly the website.
Right.
So, yeah.
And you got some exciting news. I mean, we're potentially, not potential, it's happening, right? A new website pretty soon?
Yeah, super excited about that. We've kind of listened to some of the comments and stuff out there, and internally we realized that some things could be better with the online experience. So we're in the process of a migration to a new website. Should make it a lot more shopper friendly, a lot more features on there. It's going to be easier to find what you're looking for, get it in your cart, do all that kind of stuff. We should be able to facilitate some more robust sales, that kind of thing, which is good for everybody. So pretty excited about that. I think it's really going to help a lot of people shop and kind of see what The Real Shot has to offer if you're not from the area, and people from the area too. In-store pickup, same-day delivery, all that stuff is going to be facilitated through the new website. So
that means
all good stuff.
So let's say it's Monday, November 4th. And the rut is going on here in Wisconsin, and you want some wags because you're all out of wags. You can go on our website, order it, and you can. It's available either in store or Are we going to push that delivery too, same day?
Yeah, I would love it if somebody would order a same day delivery thing, just so I can kind of play around with it and see how it all works.
Do you want to offer an incentive for anybody to do that?
I don't know what that incentive would be, but I think the incentive of getting it delivered to you is incentive enough, because we've all been there, right?
Right.
Like the night before, we wake up in the morning, we're like, oh, shoot, I forgot this. So, it's just another tool people can use to get what they need to go, hunting, fishing, and get their stuff quicker. So.
And our live bait would be the same way, right?
Yeah, so that has not completely been set up yet, but that is coming in the near future, where essentially if you want to get live bait delivered to a gas station, a Quick Trip, the boat landing, wherever within a certain radius, I think it's going to be like 15 miles, I think, is going to be the radius within the Real Shot. We should be able to facilitate that. Just users are going to have to understand, and we're going to have to play around with it too, that it's not going to be like, in the next 10 minutes, but we have to scoop the bait, we have to get it in a bucket, we have to make sure the driver gets here and delivers it. So there'll have to be coordinated drop-off times, but
right,
it should be a possibility, and like everything else, it's always getting better. So as soon as this gets rolled out, I'm sure there'll be some modifications and changes made to it to make it a little bit more conducive to the customer. But
well, and the other thing too is in 2020 we'll also be able to have firearm sales on the website as well, right?
Yeah, 100%. So that'll be, nationwide, whether or not you want to buy a firearm from somewhere else, which we can do that right now. We can get them shipped here, but we will be able to hopefully sell used guns to people all across the nation. As soon as we get them up on Facebook or the website, you should be able to see those used firearms and get them shipped to you. And I think that'll help with a lot of people that kind of know that they need to act quick, because now it's kind of a process, right? So
Right.
they got to call and say, oh, can you hold this? Can you do, whatever? But now you'll be able to hit that buy button on the website, and it'll be yours essentially. Just barring all the paperwork, the FFL, all that stuff goes through. It'll give people an opportunity. If you're quick on the ball, you should be able to get some pretty awesome deals on firearms that you might not be able to actually come in person and get. So
Well,
that'll be cool.
and the other thing too is, so like all firearms, used firearms right now, go strictly to our Facebook page, the Real Shot Facebook page, and then that's where they can see them all. But then we'll have those capabilities for all those firearms to be viewed on the website and everything like that. So
Yeah, essentially what you see on Facebook, there will be in 2020, there'll be a link with your post that'll take you right to our website. There you'll maybe see more pictures, more detail, whatever you want to know about it. You'll have the chance to, hopefully do a live chat with us. We should have a live chat on the new website. So if you got a question about it, barring somebody's at their computer, which, with all the employees we have here now, there should always be somebody at their computer. So you can ask questions about it. You can pay for it. You can basically, capture that sale without having to be here, which I think, especially for used stuff, that it goes so quick,
Right.
It's going to be a great tool for a lot of shoppers to use. So.
Well, and it also is going to allow. This show is obviously about the rut. We'll get to that here in a second, but it's going to allow like Steve or somebody else, even in the Great Lakes region, somebody else with a little more knowledge, to answer those questions, so on and so forth. So we'll definitely get the answers to you on all the products that you're looking for. So I know we're thinking here shortly after the new year for the new website, depending on how everything rolls out.
Yeah, I don't want to, hold myself to the fire on when firearms, no pun intended there, but when firearms will be able to be sold on the website. But I'm hoping shortly after we launch the new site.
Well, that's what I'm seeing. So
Yep.
the new site should be live here shortly and in 2020.
Yep.
And then shortly after that, the firearms portion of it. I mean, you got to remember, there's a lot of like logistics. There's a lot of laws that have to be followed
Yeah,
with the firearm things.
A lot of moving parts, and it's something that I'm going to have to kind of study up on and make sure I got all my bases covered.
Right.
Because I don't want to, sell something to somebody and then be like, oh, I messed up. I didn't know this had to be done first.
Right.
It's just all the bases we got to cover. And
Just like the new
it'll
website,
happen.
it wants to be enjoyable through the whole entire experience for the shopper, the online shopper. And, we do appreciate everybody that shops on our website. That's really simple. It's just www.therealshot.com. Tons of products on there. And this new website is also going to help with custom products as well, as far as our custom selection of lures.
Yeah, and that was kind of the tipping point for us. We made a progression over the couple of years. This is going to be website number 3, and each one has gotten significantly better. And kind of the tipping point for us was we've just expanded so much in the custom arena that the names and the pictures and all that stuff, it was becoming overwhelming for people.
Right.
And now with the new website, it should make it a lot easier. You'll be able to filter and sort by color, size, brand, whatever you want. Finish on the bait if you only want to look at chrome baits, or just from reference, like I think it was RGV was like Russell Hagen's version of like flashers came out, and a lot of people were looking for those. Well, that's going to be a filter on the website. So if you want to see whatever he's got in the mix, that'll be
Right.
one click away. All of a sudden, boop, it shows all of those, so you can shop that whole collection, if you will. So yeah, it should streamline a lot of things for people, and it's going to be a lot quicker too.
Nice.
Because right now, I mean, we're kind of bogged down with, essentially, the bandwidth, just kind of outgrown what we've done. So
Yep.
This new website's going to make everything a lot quicker. So navigating the pages, you're not gonna have the downtime or the lag, if you will. So
Perfect. We're excited about it. I know
Yeah,
you're excited about it. You're just ready for it to be done.
Yeah, I'm super excited for it, and once it gets done, like everything in life, there's always another project which makes it fun. But yeah, I can't wait till we get that new site up and rocking, and we could do some of the things that we've talked about doing for a long time, but maybe we weren't quite at that point yet.
Right.
But now we can go ahead and make it even better for our customers.
Well,
So-
just like the expansion of the store, bigger and better things all over here at the Real Shot,
Mm-hmm.
like always. So obviously today's show is we're talking about the rut. We named it kind of like after Mythbusters. We're calling it Rut Busters. Now, again, like we're we sell the products that maybe we're talking about today, but it's just good questions that we get all the time. You know, obviously the rut's going on like right now. If you haven't or are aware of that, Lance, the rut is here.
Is it? Yeah, I should probably hang out on the floor and see if anybody reminds me.
Well, and that's what we want. Remember, we're live on Facebook here. We're live on YouTube on TRS Outdoors. But let us know what you're seeing as far as deer movement. I tagged out a couple weeks ago, so I've been kind of just doing household chores, and I'm missing being in the woods. But so before we get too far into this show, we will announce the TRS 19 pumpkin carving contest towards the end of the show today. And then Zach actually has a video that Brian suggested. We got 2 videos, Zach, right? We want to show kind of before we get into the nuts and bolts of it?
Yeah.
Zach's here, by the way, everybody.
I'm alive.
He's alive. He's going to he's going to help me monitor comments and everything like that, like normal, and add his 2 cents to it. But do we want to let's play the
I was thinking about doing the
funny one first.
The funny one first.
All right. And then the other thing we're going to do is we're going to air my son's hunt from this year where he shot his very first deer, his very first buck with a bow. Again, I'll kind of break down that hunt scenario here, and then we'll get into what we want to cover as far as like tactics for the rut. Is it at the same time every year, so on and so forth. But let's show this Charlie Barron's video. I'm sure everybody's seen this one, but we just thought it was kind of funny.
I have not seen this.
You haven't seen this one?
Yeah, no. So this one time at deer camp? Yeah, back in 06, Uncle Henry missed a 12-pointer, took it out on the drywall. All right, so we got the dopey, the calls, the antlers. I think we're ready to go. Don't you need a gun? Oh, yeah, I need a gun. Today we'll be hunting the wind, whatever that means. For bow hunting, we got a camel coat. For gun hunting, we got a blaze orange coat. For muzzleloader hunting, we got a red coat. Robin Hood and Little John running through the forest. What do you mean it's not a fair fight? When I have spikes growing on my head, I'll lose the bow.
I'm telling you, Todd, we did good this year. We got some big ones. How many? I want to say 50.
It's Joe back in 2010. He's on the wall right now. I will be playing a lot of games on my phone. For sure. I even got that new Buck Hunter app, so. You know how the Mona Lisa always looks like she's always looking at you? Same deal. Actually, that's what inspired Picasso. Da Vinci? Same thing. I've only hit a deer with my Corolla. I don't think so. We got Don out there with his semi-auto. Don, are we hunting deer or ISIS? Sorry. What? I saw it on YouTube once. Everything the light touches, you can hunt.
What about the dark path over there?
That's my deer stand. Don't ever go there. You want to sound like you got does in different area codes. Bucks are in the rut. They're rutting, doing the rut. Got some doe pea here. Doe and rut, number 69. That's mature of them. That's not a very big hole. Those does got good aim. So I guess we're going to try and harvest a deer, but I never planted a fawn, so I think I'm out of luck. Hey, Tom, I can't make it into work today. What's wrong with my voice? I lost it. I'll raise you $5.
Where's your 5?
Well, you need a screwdriver or a hammer to get them off. Before you go out, you get all your calls. Grunt, buck, buck that swallowed a duck. This is Tiffany. She was actually modeling for the new John Deere logo. Didn't quite get it, but she did get the highway crossing sign. Oh, shoot. All right, time to hunt. Coming in already, huh? A lot of guys came out here this year and like cut tabs for their stands and all that sort of stuff. I definitely did not do that at all.
You're sleeping in that top bunk.
My bow is. But you know, there's a spot on the couch next to Uncle Henry. He does snore a little, but just give him some brandy. And now this is Tara. She actually hooked up with both Joe and Frank. I do have a picture of them mounting, but that's in the bedroom if you guys want to see it. You know, it's like perfume for the bucks. We got Chanel number 5. They got Chanel number 1. Oh, all right, guys, here's what we're doing. We're starting at the top of the ridge. Now, if the wind is blowing to the south, we're going down the right-hand side. We're going to make about 3 stops, okay, and then we'll end up at the marsh.
I thought we were done hunting.
We are done hunting. Yeah, this is for the bar crawl.
So roll out. He's pretty good.
Man.
I've been there with that, getting up early, hit the mute button, go back to bed.
Who hasn't? Yeah. But it's weird. Like as I've gotten older, I can wake up like earlier. I'm ready to go now.
Oh, yeah.
Like in my earlier days, like sleeping affected me more. Now I don't need as much sleep.
Right. So yeah, that video is pretty funny, and it's got some of the things we're going to cover today, like does deer scent really work? Does the size of your rattling antlers really matter? So these are some of the. Brian just shared that with us. I've actually watched that before, but that guy's pretty funny. So, all right, do you want to? We'll play the hunt. So this is the hunt from 2 weeks ago. This is my first ever deer with any weapon, and it was his first buck ever.
Oh, that's pretty special.
So I can't complain this year. I've been in the woods twice and shot bucks both times. Now, I haven't seen the way Zach put this together, so I'll do my best to kind of watch it and flow with it.
It's pretty straightforward.
It's pretty straightforward, yeah. So the thing about this is why the video footage is not very great is because I was a guide. I was a dad. I was trying to get him my first deer. I was trying to be a video guy. So it's tough. Like we've talked about before, like you got to pretty much be dedicated to just getting the film. There is one beautiful leaf shot in here, though.
There is a leaf shot. I kept that in there for you.
I did my best to get the leaf shot in here. But so the scenario is I got permission to the spot for him where I do most of my hunting. And, the landowner was very gracious enough to let us go out there. We had just gotten in the stand a little late. I had to hang an XOP above one of the stands that are out there already.
Did you use your bracket?
I did.
Yeah.
It's a double XOP stand.
Yeah.
What those people don't know, those G stands are nice.
They are. Yep.
Lance and I kind of are hooked on the XOPs. I mean, we carry some awesome ones, Hawks and Muddies and all that kind of stuff, and I'm still a fan of all those. But those XOPs with the bracket is nice. They're so lightweight. So, anyways, I climbed up. I hung a stand above it so I could videotape them. Got the camera all set up. So we got a little late, and then shortly after we were sitting here, we saw our first deer, and it was a buck. And this was, I can't remember the date. I want to say like the 23rd of October.
All right, what's going on, everybody? It's Matt with the real shot here in the stand.
We're introing it. You can.
Oh, no. It's just the computer being funky.
Oh, so
you
anyways,
keep talking. I'm going to do some things.
All right. So we just got set up. First deer I seen was a buck. I called to it, and this is like one of the first times, again, kind of what this Rut Busters is going to be about. I've saw 3 bucks and called all 3 bucks in. And you're going to see here, one of them was a stomper. You didn't see the Mega 8.
No, I didn't see any of the video.
You haven't seen any of this video footage.
You told me.
We called the Mega 8 in to like 5 yards.
Yeah.
And we couldn't get a shot. And so I don't know, Zach, you just want to play it, and then if I can interrupt it and pause it or something like that?
Yeah, definitely. I just had to make sure that the way that I had it set up at first, you wouldn't be able to hear it. So I had to change a few things quick. So
does it open with me talking at first?
Yep, it's basically just going to be you kind of talking through, and then through the area, and then what you're hunting, and then you'll see the buck, and then the kill, and then you're closing.
You got the Mega 8 coming in, though? That one? Okay. All right, go ahead and just play it.
So you're above him the whole time?
I'm above him.
You're above him the whole time.
Yep. We do have some comments going on here again.
All right, what's going on, everybody? It's Matt with the real shot here in the stand. We've been in the stand for not more than 30 minutes, and we've already seen 2 deer. We've seen a buck that we couldn't tell how big it was, and then we jumped one on the way in. We are sitting in one of my best stands on this property. We got lucky today. I got my oldest son out here, Ethan. I just sent him down to the bottom of the tree. That buck circled way around, downwind of us, and kind of smelled their boot tracks and got a little bit of our wind. So he's at the base right now, soaking the bottom of the tree with some intruder bucks. Hopefully they don't circle downwind again. We're on in Wabaka County, and I'm all tagged out. So I asked the landowner for permission if he could come out here and try to get his first deer with a bow. And they were nice enough to let us come out here, so we're pretty stoked for today's sit. We have the absolute perfect wind for this spot. We're looking for a first deer tonight. Buck or doe, doesn't really matter, but the way the movement's going so far, we might just hold off today, Saturday, for a buck.
There's my leaf shot. God, that's beautiful.
That is nice. Right then.
All right, so I saw this deer cruising. I hit the horns in the grunt tube. He came out, went right back in. And this is, if I'm not mistaken, this is the big 8-pointer. 5 yards away at the base of the tree. Like, this deer would have, the buck I shot this year would have absolutely crushed the one I shot this year.
So could you feel your son shaking?
Oh, my God. So, Zach, can we pause it here? All right, so this deer right here. Okay, so the way it is kind of broke it up on the video footage, but I didn't do that great of a job showing it. We're sitting on the outside of a bedding area, and there's kind of where the woods is almost a perfect square, and then there's another rectangle that runs into the bedding area on the neighbor's land. So this stand is about 75 yards away from the bedding area, just enough space with a great shot. The deer's not going to hopefully get on there. I do have permission if I to contact the landlord to go over there and track if I need to. But anyway, so this movement is a ridge, and then it comes right out of the bedding area, and then they either go to the farrow field that's out there. There's beans around us, or there's a cornfield too. So this deer come out of the bedding area, and I called to him. He went back in, and then he was like, when I first saw him, it's hard to tell here, but his body looked almost black. He was so dark. So dark. So I'm like.
So this is October 23rd?
Did you say? It's like 3 weeks ago now. I'd have to look up the date.
All right. So he's on his feet. Is this a morning hunt or evening?
This is an evening hunt.
Evening? Okay.
Yep. So it would have been the 26th. Okay. So anyways. So I hit the corns, hit the grunt tube, and this deer did the same thing the other buck did. He circled way downwind, but this one, instead of going 20 to 30 yards on the downwind side, came right to the base of the tree. And you can see as soon as he gets nervous here, we walk right through our boot tracks.
Oh, yeah.
And he turns, and like if you look at those two logs that are there, those are literally like 4 yards away from the base of the tree. Go ahead. Roll that beautiful beam footage. There, he's walking over the logs.
So at this point, is your son like bow in hand drawing back or no?
No, so this deer came in behind us, and so he had to turn, and the tree and then that other little smaller tree is right in between the deer's vitals.
Okay.
So as he turns right here, we're getting our shot opportunity. And you can see that's why the deer spooks, because Ethan's kind of getting ready to shoot.
Yep.
But he has that small tree right in the way. I didn't expect these deer to come in from behind us.
I mean, he's doing everything you want him to do right now. He's looking off at the bedding area. He's
right, but if you look there.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. I'm just desperation, to try to get him to stop. But he only ran about 40 yards, 50 yards, stopped, and walked back into the the direction of the bedding area, and we saw him another 20 to 30 minutes later chasing 2 does.
Oh, really?
So he wasn't super spooked.
He's just gonna rub it in a little bit.
Thick freaking deer. This is the biggest body.
That's the biggest. He shot at a doe last year. It was his first time with a bull. So this is the one he shoots. So again, this one we call in, came on the downwind side. I told him he might have to aim a little lower if the deer reacts.
Matt.
Oh. hit it in the spine. So we're walking down here for the recovery. Obviously, we had to finish it off. Didn't want to show a whole lot more of what.
Yeah. That's pretty awesome, though. So is he like hooked for life now? I mean, he's a bow hunter.
Well,
for
I mean,
life.
you couldn't ask for a better first time, like
no.
a rut hunt.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
Look at that sunset, man. You guys couldn't have
it
written
was
it up any better.
First hunt, first deer. We started off 20 minutes in. We saw 2 does. Probably getting off later into an hour, we saw just a massive buck, thick 8-pointer that came up. He saw us and he jumped away. But later on, he came back. We were calling for him, waiting for him. He didn't come, so we just gave up on that one pretty much. And then just looking off, waiting for him to come back, we saw this one, or my dad saw this one come out of behind us, and so that's where we came from.
So that was a freaking awesome day.
Yeah, no, that's perfect. And they're still in that right mindset where they would be aware of calls and stuff, because I'm sure you've had it too, but I've been hunting before. When you see a buck on a doe, I mean, there's nothing you can do to get him away. I mean, cans, grunting, no, nothing's going to happen. So that's cool. They were still responding to.
So, yeah, that was
deer sounds.
Obviously pre-rut. That deer, all we saw, 3 bucks, all 3 were cruising, and all 3 came into the call at some fashion. And then it led to his first ever deer, which was super awesome. So, let's get into our rut busters, because the 2 videos we just watched are going to kind of cover the things that we want to talk about in our rut busters. Now, again, this is just an opinion. Obviously, we sell a lot of awesome products here, and we believe in all these products. But we're gonna answer the questions, and then we're gonna tell you why we feel like you absolutely need to check out these kind of things. So before we get into it, though, I got a couple guys on YouTube that want to say what's up. Fishing Florida Radio. Hey guys, again, great job on an interview last week with National Professional Fishing League. Cheers. Thank you very much. I mean, we're still in the progress of working with those guys. We're super excited about that. I don't want to give away too many details, but
yeah, no.
That could be Brian's in the progress of putting together some awesome stuff with there. Then Michael says, what's up, guys? How's it going? Well, obviously, we're having a great time here on TRS Live. And we got a bunch of people over here on Facebook. So, all right, let me get into the first question. I got to bring it back up. What do you got? Lance, you got it up right now. I deleted it.
Yeah, no, you got here. First one, is the rut really the best time to kill your megabuck?
Okay.
So, I mean, in my opinion, I think it's the best time to see your megabuck. I don't know if it's the best time to kill it. I mean, it's open-ended. I mean, who knows what's going to happen out in the woods, but I definitely think, if you're a bow hunter, you have this week circled on your calendar every year.
Correct.
I mean, this is when your vacation is written off for and you're ready to go. So I've seen the majority of the mature deer during the rut. So I would say, yeah, I guess you could say it's probably your best time to kill one.
I agree with you on on your statement there. I think it's a great opportunity to encounter some big deer.
Yep.
You're going to bring in some deer that maybe you've never seen before. I don't know personally, though, if you have good food in the early and the late season,
yep.
I think you can also increase your odds a lot.
I guess that's a kicker here. Kill,
Kill,
like
right.
To harvest it. Yeah, no, maybe it's not. Maybe because like what we just watched with that video, if that 8-pointer would have been in, if he would have been on a doe,
yep.
he would have never came to your tree unless that doe did.
Right.
Like, I mean, so.
Well, and, yep, again, too, if
he's
just bed to feed, if he's going, there
yep.
was a cornfield when I first saw that deer, he probably would have headed to that cornfield, and that would have been it. So,
yep.
Again, it definitely, the rut is a magical time.
It is. It's super exciting.
You say a lot of people,
yep.
like, I take vacation based around the rut.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of people do. It's a time of year that, especially here in Wisconsin, but some other states, like Mark always says, you have to experience a rut in Iowa. And hopefully in the next couple of years, you and I will get to experience that Iowa hunt.
Yep.
Both of us have preference points for the state of Iowa, and we're ready there. But I don't know. Like you said, a lot of these are just straight up opinions. I think that it can get you on some big deer. Obviously, I don't know. I think you can kill a big deer any part of the season. But
I mean, if you had to create some kind of magical equation for it, I would say no, it's not the best time to kill one. I think, like you said, when you can pattern them, that's your best time to kill one. To see one, definitely
yep.
the rut.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely the rut.
And just see some straight up insanities. So.
Yeah, no, and you just never know what's going to happen. But,
right. So, again, if anybody else wants to comment on, let us know, and we'll do our best to filter through the questions here.
All inhibitions are to the wind, and they're just who knows what's going to happen. So,
yep.
yeah.
But, a lot of it's based off of, like you said, the doe skis. So if the doe skis go one way, and that's your chances of calling that deer back are pretty slim to none. So, so the next one is this is actually something that I shared to the Facebook page, I think last week or the week before. It says, we talked about, and a lot of people talk about, is the rut factored off of, a lot of different things. So what mine says is, what factors really trigger the rut. And if Zach, I sent you this thing. There's a link to it. I know. Yeah, I know. It's a.
Yep.
So this is done by the Mississippi State University, their deer lab, who does a lot of interesting things. But they say that the rut is the same time every year, and it doesn't matter what the moon phases are. It doesn't matter on the temperature. It doesn't matter, all those kind of things. Now, all those things can, play into it. But the thing about it is the rut, according to these guys, the Mississippi State Deer Lab says the rut is the same time every year.
And I've heard that too, and I agree with it. It's kind of
you might see some some little earlier stuff. You might see some little later stuff. And now they get into. I'm not going to get into this whole article. Zach's going to share it in the comments here, but they do a great job of breaking it down. But the biggest thing is there's other companies out there that try to sell products saying like this can help you do this can help you do that, like moon phases, all those other kind of things where again these guys study deer day in and day out, and they say none of that stuff really matters. It's all based off of daylight.
Yeah, and I've heard the moon phase thing, and I think there is some truth to the moon phase. I mean, maybe it's just a coincidence that a lot more people pay attention to it and plan their outdoor activities around the moon phase.
Yep.
If you believe that the moon phase is gonna, help you catch a fish at this time, or help you see a deer at this time, then that's when you're gonna go, and that's when you're gonna be able to experience it, because that's when you're outdoors doing that kind of stuff. So I mean, I've heard the moon phase thing before as well, but I guess I've prescribed to the theory that it's gonna happen the same time of year. Hell or high water. It's gonna happen in that time frame, and that's nothing else is really going to affect it.
Right. And there's a reason some of the more professionals, say this is my favorite day of the year. Well, and it, obviously, and then the next one I wanted to get into is like the temperature, which all goes back into the same thing. Do the deer really move during the warm temperatures? Well, yeah, they just may not move until the evening portion of it.
Yep.
And like this article states too, they said, it's all based off of observation. Well, if the temperature is warm, more hunters are probably not in the woods.
I would agree.
So
with that.
you may not be seeing that, even though that stuff doesn't stop.
Yep.
It's still going on. It's just maybe it's more after dark, but you're maybe not hunting at the same time, to witness all this kind of stuff. So, so the next one we had on here is let's see, where did I say here? Oh, here's one. Okay. This is a controversial one because we sell a lot of these products, but does scent control really work?
Because we've talked about this too, right? Like we've all heard stories of, this guy was smoking a cigarette in their stand. This guy, keeps his clothes in the barn. This guy uses ozone.
Right.
A lot of different people do a lot of different things. I think scent control does work. I would agree. And even if it doesn't, I think it gives me a little bit more confidence,
Right.
And with like a lot of the products, like I can't say one way or another. You can't attribute all your success to one thing or another. But I think having the confidence, especially when you're talking about deer hunting, when you're talking about being in the stand, when it's 12 degrees outside for 10 hours, when you're talking about being there all day. You got to have some kind of confidence knowing that, okay, you're doing something right and it can happen because you've taken the precautions and all, you've checked all your boxes, like you're ready for this. I think confidence builds, attributes a lot to it. And I think the same thing with scent control. Like I feel a little bit more confident if I see a deer and I know maybe the wind isn't right or they're coming from someplace that I didn't think they were going to come from. And I'm like, okay, I know my scent's blowing there, but I've done everything that I could do to make sure they can't smell me, so I think I'm good. I'm going to be a little bit more calm. My movements are going to be a little bit more thought out. I'm not going to be thinking, okay, he's going to smell me. He's going to smell me. That's my take on it.
Yep.
And why not? Why not practice scent control?
No, I agree with you. The thing that
I don't think it hurts.
No, I will say there's two things for me as far as scent control that as a user now, I will probably not ever, or continue to use from here on out. And you hit it. One of them is ozone.
Yep.
I think all those ozone products, in my personal opinion, work.
Oh, 100%.
The biggest one that indicates it for me is when I put one of my stinky shoes in an ozone bag.
Yeah.
And the smell is virtually gone. Now, I will say this, though. My shoes must really stink because, like, the smell for me on some of these things only goes away temporarily. But it does for a while. I guess you could say it masks the smell. And my car is another one. I always have one going in my car, and I noticed that one works.
But that's the thing with the ozone, though. It's not supposed to mask it. I mean,
it's supposed to kill it.
It's supposed to kill it, though.
Right.
You know, whatever. There's some kind of charge that goes through there, attacks those enzymes that cause basically bacteria to grow and smell and stuff. So it's supposed to kill it. And
so what you're saying is my feet.
Yeah, I
must
mean,
be a nasty fungus.
If you're gonna
bacteria.
stink, you're gonna stink. I mean, it's always gonna come back, Matt. Like, you know, it's just the way it is. Nobody's nobody's stink shaming you. I mean, it's fine. You got ozone, so you're fine.
I've been stink shamed before, like on
stunk shamed,
head-to-head fishing, stunk shame, stink shame, whatever you want to call it. I've had okay. So, anyways, let's get off of that. The other one for me that I feel works really well is cover scents, and the one cover scent that I use a lot is we sell it here is the Code Blue products, the smoke spray.
Okay, I haven't tried that one yet.
I absolutely love that one.
Yep.
And the reason why I absolutely love that one is is it contradictory or whatever you want to call it, because I do ozone, but then I spray my clothes with smoke spray.
Yeah.
You know, is that not the right thing to do? But think about what you smell a lot in outdoors this time of year is wood burners. Wood
burners, yeah.
Chimneys and, people burning wood.
Yep.
And that's a natural smell this time of year for the deer.
Yep.
And to me, it smells just like liquid smoke, which I'm pretty sure it is. So I feel really good about that one. And then the other one too is the calming scent from Code Blue.
I don't use that all the time, but early season, if I'm moving a stand or if I know I've got my hands all over something, like if I'm putting together a stand, I usually don't wear gloves, which maybe I should. I just like my dexterity, especially when I'm up in the tree doing weird things. So like after I'm done with that, I try to rub some of that calming scent all over my tree. I don't rub it maybe on the places I'm going to be gripping because it's greasy, right? So you don't want the old like Vaseline on the door handle trick.
For those who aren't familiar with it, it's basically like a stick of deodorant.
Yeah, it is. It's a round stick of deodorant. It's got like this, I don't know, like it's got a deodorant consistency to it.
Yeah,
too.
it is. It's like a stick of deodorant. And my people, if they wonder what it smells like, I just think it smells like poop.
I mean, it smells like if you've ever like walked into a barn and like smelled some hay that an animal's been laying in or something. That's what it kind of smells like to me. Like
natural smell.
Yeah, it smells like. I mean, you got some dirt smell in there. I mean,
Yep.
It smells like it should be out in the wilds, and so on.
So I agree with you, and I think it also goes to the confidence thing too. Like by me doing these precautions, I think it just gives me the better confidence to hunt the stand, maybe on a better marginal wind. But the one that I think if I had to pick one out of those potential three, I would use the smoke spray, I think, all the time.
Rather than the ozone?
Yep.
So you get rid of ozone and go
so
smoke spray?
To me, I don't know how I'll ozone, obviously, but like if I'm in a pinch, I'll just use more smoke spray.
Yeah, like I'm pretty sold on the ozone stuff, and what really did it for me was last year. I don't know when it was, but I actually one morning I got up and I went outside, and sun was just breaking right after a rainstorm, and I could smell ozone. So I mean, it just made a correlation in my mind, like, okay, yeah, this is a natural thing that happens.
Yep.
It shouldn't be alarming to the animals, and I know I don't have a nose like a deer, but like if I put my stuff in there, I can't smell any other, foreign scents besides that ozone. So, and living in town and stuff, like growing up, I just remember the whole town, deer hunting comes along, everybody's clotheslines
are hung out. Yep.
Orange camel clothes, whatever. Well, I don't do that anymore. I invest a little bit more in my clothing. So I'm living in town. I just don't want to, wave a expensive flag around outside waiting for people to either mess with it or it blows off or somebody comes and takes, I don't do that anymore. So I got the closet, and I don't have a bad thing to say about it. The only thing I'm leery about is I have heard people say if you ozone too much, it breaks down elastics and other materials. I haven't experienced that yet either, but I use ozone, not every time before I go out, but probably half a dozen times a year. You know,
So let me ask you this: if you hunt the
there.
morning and then you're going to hunt at night, do you ozone in between uses?
No.
No.
I mean, I don't think maybe I would in a certain situation if I think my clothes, you know, got some kind of scent on them that I didn't want them to have on there. But no, normally it's just ozone and field spray for me. I haven't used. I own Nose Jammer. I've sprayed it a little bit. I don't take it out with me as much anymore. And the field spray, I pretty much, you know, a couple squirts of that and I'm good to go.
Yep.
And like knock on wood, I don't feel like I've had a problem being winded by a lot of deer.
Right.
I haven't seen that. I haven't noticed that.
Do you see a lot of deer?
No, that's true. I mean,
no, I'm just messing with
this
you.
year's been really slow. But in the years past,
well, you've only hunted like what, 2 times?
No, I mean, this weekend marked my 4th time being out.
That's not a lot.
That isn't. And you know, I guess I've been a little bit more preoccupied with fishing, but I've always thought too, like, the earlier I go, the more excited I get about it. Or if I come with an encounter and maybe it wasn't right, I try a little bit too much to make it happen, and I kind of ruin my opportunity. So I'm like, this year I'm gonna let the woods marinate.
Yep.
Gonna stay out of there. I'm gonna go in there when I think I have the best opportunity to. When I know that the deer are gonna be moving around, I have my best opportunity to get a shot at one. So that's what I've been doing.
So basically, like, just playing the wind and being smart about, you know, all the things we talked about earlier, you know, the conditions and all that kind of stuff. Does it really trigger the rut? Maybe not. But it allows you to have the confidence to go in there.
Yeah, 100%. And I think, you know, we'll discuss it a little bit more later. But, like, the confidence is hunting so much of a mental game.
Oh, it is.
You know, like anything else, like fishing as well. Like, I mean, you know, 90% I would say is mental.
Right.
You know?
I would agree with you. All right, what do we got next here? Which one is – so continuing on the scent one is do attraction scents really work? Well, obviously, I feel like they do.
Oh, I would say, yeah.
I mean, one of the big ones is we're a huge Wags hunting scents, you know, store here. Mm-hmm. We sell a lot of that product, and I think we sell a lot of that product for a reason.
Yeah. I mean, I've had it before where I've done drags and stuff, and I've seen the deer follow that drag, you know, directly. And they don't follow my trail like that every time I'm in the woods. So it's leading me to say, okay, there's something that intrigues them that I'm putting down where they got the blinders on. They're like, what is this? I want to figure out what it is. In that sense, I think it works. But I've also had it, you know, peak time. I've seen, you know, rut activity. I've seen bucks chasing does where maybe they don't even pay attention to my wick. You know, I think that's kind of the misconception. Whereas, you know, if a deer is fixed on another live deer, like, it doesn't really matter this time of year. It doesn't matter what's going on around it. Even it could be the sweetest smelling whatever to them. It could be, you know, right there what they need. But I think there's so many other things that are happening in the woods maybe that we can't see or smell or experience that we don't know about that's affecting how they're reacting to different things. So, you know, I think goes back to, not to get off topic, but like trail cameras and stuff. Like, there's a lot of unknown. We're only seeing a small snapshot of what's happening in the woods. So, but I think scents work, and like, I don't think they have hurt. I've never had an experience where I've used them and all of a sudden it something really negative happened.
Right.
Like, so.
Well, they're curious, right? I mean, they typically walk through the woods day to day by their nose.
Right.
Their eyesight's really good, but it's not their strongest suit. So anything that's going to help pique their curiosity is always going to be a benefit. And during the video of my son's hunt, you know, we literally, I say that we're spraying intruder buck at the base of our tree because the fact is them deer got downwind of us. Even though we took all their necessary precautions, you know, we showered, we sprayed down, we used deer calming, we used all this kind of stuff. Them deer still smelt us.
Yeah.
And then that big 8-pointer that came in smelled our boot tracks. Yep. Again, all our boots were sprayed. You know, there was all that kind of stuff. You'll never 100% beat their nose. That's all there is to it. But you can help increase your odds by doing certain things. And in my opinion, like, obviously Wags is another one. And I like to use the combination of, you know, urines, especially the Wags product, with trail cameras. Mock scrapes. I love mock scrapes.
Yep.
And then a new one I've been playing around with is that Hodag licking stick. You know, it's like a rubbing tree, basically. And I've used their scent, and I've used the Wag scent, and I've had better luck so far in the Wag scent, you know, over their scent, but that comes with it. But So yeah, I think it works. The other one here, like I have is just like attraction smells in general.
Mm-hmm.
I've used vanilla.
Okay.
And I've had deer.
Which is like the nose jammer type-esque product.
Yep.
The vanilla.
Not only did it mask, but it also piqued curiosity. And in the day before, like all this kind of stuff, when film used to come in a 35 millimeter canister, put a couple scent or cotton swabs in there, and I would take vanilla. My mom get mad at me, but right out of the cupboard. And dump it in there, and I've had deer literally put their nose right up to that canister. Now, are they smelling the vanilla, or maybe my hand was dirty, all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, the vanilla is pretty strong. I mean, you would think that's – I think I was with you, actually, the first time I heard of / saw nose jammer. We were at some kind of show. I don't know if it was ATA or if it was in Madison. But the guy – how he explained it, I thought he did a really good job of explaining it, and it kind of lets you relate to it. He said – that smell, that vanilla, that sweet smell like the nose jammer, it like puts these blinders on the deer where it's like people smelling bacon. And it's true. Like if you walk in a house where they made bacon, you can't smell it. You couldn't even
jammers. It literally jams their their senses and all that kind of stuff.
And that's the only thing that
it works.
Yeah.
I think it works.
And I wanted to kind of go back to like the attraction sense. Like, have you now you talked about you used intruder buck, and I think just from, I guess I haven't talked to a lot of people, but I see what people order online, and the estrus is such a huge spike for us to sell. The buck has been getting better, but I'm just waiting for that buck to kind of reach the estrus point.
It will.
I think I've heard in the last couple of years more people using the intruder buck and kind of a dominant buck type scent to have success, and I think so many people get so hung up on estrus. Not that it doesn't work and you shouldn't have it,
right?
But I think it's kind of one of the best kept secrets, if you will, like using the buck set.
I agree.
Rather than the estrus.
Well, and the thing about it is how it's bottled and what it and if you talk to Wags, and I saw he was on here earlier and he might be able to comment better on this, but from my understanding is it's not a dominant buck smell.
Okay.
It's a combination, like the scrape is a combination of doe and buck, but I think for the most part it's only like bucks 3.5 and younger.
Okay.
That are bottled in there, so that's why you don't get as much of the alarming smell. Like, with some other products they say it's dominant buck urine. That may be what it is. Maybe it's not as fresh. I mean, Wags is literally.
And maybe I misspoke before when I said dominant buck, but yeah, a buck,
right.
Another male presence,
yep.
If you will. But.
Yep, and then intruder buck is literally, I think it's just one buck, again, like a 2.5 to 3.5 year old, but it's not that smell that's gonna like spook deer out of the area. The idea behind the Wags and the attraction sense is to bring more deer in.
Yeah, yep.
And to hold them and pattern them, and like we talked about, and increase your odds. And that's why, and I've heard some people say, I haven't had really good luck with it at all. Well, I mean, there's a lot of variables that go into using a scent product. I mean, the name is right there. It's a scent product. Like, are your hands clean? Are your boots clean? Did you leave any other scents? I mean,
And I think too, like going back to the point, like we can only see and experience so much when we're in the woods. Depending on where you are, it can be a completely different ball game 50 yards from you that you can't see what's going on. Maybe you hear some footsteps, and I think deer have, I think they have personalities. I think you'll get a dominant buck, you'll get maybe a more subordinate one. Maybe these scents are getting them close to you, but they're not sticking their nose right up in it.
Right.
Maybe they're, entering that area a little bit more cautiously, but yet they know you're around here. They're creatures of habits. They're curious. I think a lot happens around us that we don't know is happening. So, I mean, and maybe that's just what I tell myself to boost my confidence. Like we've all sat in the woods for hours on end, and we think of these stories and what could be happening. And that's one of them that I've often thought was, just because I don't see it, just because I'm not experiencing it right now, I mean, it could, like a light switch could just happen like that.
Right.
And there could be something happening, 100 yards away from me that I can't see over that hill. Who knows what's over there, and
right.
So, bottom line is with this stuff, I don't think it hurts. I haven't met a product that I've used out in the woods and I was like, this had negative effects on me.
Oh, I agree.
So
I agree.
So why not use it if it's there? It just,
So this is one, and we're going to skip over a couple here, Lance. So, the scent definitely works in my opinion, but I want to get to this one. This is one we get a lot about here at the Real Shot. And do you really need expensive clothing?
Yeah, I mean,
you and I talked about this one, and I liked where you went with this one right here.
I think you know my stance on it. Like, I started hunting like a lot of people did, I assume. You know, you kind of get into the sport. You don't kind of go all in. You don't invest in a lot to it. Maybe you get some hand-me-down clothes. Maybe you wear, you know, some of the warmer clothes that you wear for winter out in the woods, and which is great and which is fine. But you know, in the last couple of years, and I'm going to talk about this one because it's the only line that I've had experience with Sitka, is that it is worth every penny of it. And I even look at, like, I talked to some of my friends and some other people I know that hunt, and they have no problem, you know, investing in their hunting setup, you know, their bows, their stands, their fuel to drive out to, you know, wherever they want to go hunting. They'll take these trips. But when you talk about expensive clothing with them and they look at the price tag, they're like, no way.
Right.
I wouldn't do that. And to me, it's like, if you'll spend, you know, $900, $1,000, $1,500 on your bow setup, why wouldn't you spend that on your clothing, which I find to be really almost counterintuitive, because if I could start all over, you know, if somebody just took away all my trail cameras, my clothing, my bow, all of that stuff, and they said, okay, here's your budget, go get set up again, the majority of my money would be in clothing, 100%.
Yep.
There's no question. Like, I would rather shoot a used bow. I'd get a Bear Cruiser because I think I could build confidence with that bow. I could learn it. I could shoot it well, you know, 20 yards. You know, even if that was all I had, I would shoot, you know, a less expensive bow. I would have a less expensive tree stand. I would do all that stuff and stick all my money in clothing, because if I can't be out there when I need to be out there, or I'm thinking about, you know, is the weather going to ruin my hunt? Am I going to be too cold where I'm shivering and I can't stand up?
Right.
You know, can I not sit here anymore because I'm so uncomfortable that the wind is, you know, piercing through me at this time? Then I have absolutely no chance to shoot that deer. My mind's not there. I'm getting out of the woods. I'm doing something else. So in my opinion, clothing is probably the most, because you're out in the elements. Like, it's probably the most important part of my hunting arsenal, if you will. So
okay,
I'm sold on it.
For the Sitka brand, then, what's your favorite?
Oh, by far, like, if I could choose one piece, it would be the Fanatic, which is this jacket here.
Here, I can move this over so you can hold it up a little bit.
Yeah, so this is something like, and I've made arguments with people before. I don't want to call them arguments, just friendly discussions about why I think in Wisconsin, like, everybody's always talking about layering, and they're like, well, I'm going to get this piece and I'm going to do this and put this under there and whatever. But what I think Sitka did with this one is, we're, for the most part in Wisconsin, we're tree stand hunters.
Yep.
So, you know, our movement is very minimal. We're getting from our vehicle or from our cabin, we're getting to our stand, and we're sitting there all day. And the temperature throughout today, what's the variation going to be? You know, 5-10 degrees.
Right.
We're not talking about going, you know, out west in the mountains where we wake up and it's, you know, 30 degrees outside, and then we walk around for 2 or 3 miles and now it's 60 something. I mean, that variation I don't think is there. So in Wisconsin, you know, this to me is the number one piece of, you know, clothing I think you need. I don't think you really need a layer with it. No, I'm not saying you're naked underneath it. You still wear like a.
You don't Gardner Minshew. You're Sitka Fanatic.
No. I think you just wear like a
just a jock strap.
You wear a base layer. That's what I do when I go in the woods. I think they're called. Now I'm forgetting the Equinox pants.
Oh yeah.
The stretchy ones.
The early season
Yep.
stuff.
So I wear those, and then I wear my base layer, and that gets me to, you know, I can sit all day in 20-degree weather with this piece, with the Fanatic system on, and you know, I'm not putting 6 layers on. I'm not, you know, inhibiting my movement. I'm not like so bundled up that I'm uncomfortable in the stand. And so that's why I like that piece. And you know, it's got something that I think you've experienced, and anybody that's used it, I think, would back me up on it, is the wind stopper.
Oh, it's huge.
Is money.
Yep.
Like, if you don't have wind stopper, I don't care. You shouldn't be out in the woods.
I agree with you.
Because once that wind starts blowing and cuts through your clothing, it's game over. I don't care how much insulation you have. If the wind's blowing through you, you're done.
So to your point, there is, I purchased some Sitka because it was the cheaper of the suits. It was the Fanatic. Fanatic light. Fanatic light.
Fanatic light, yep.
And it's virtually that coat, no wind stopper. It doesn't have the extreme things like that. And I wore it 1 year thinking like this is gonna be the ticket.
Yep.
And it's an everyday coat for me. It's an expensive everyday coat,
yep.
but because like the wind was blowing directly down my back or at my back.
Yep.
And it was cold. And I was layered up to the T underneath it, but because it didn't have a wind stopper, it didn't work.
Yep.
And so for me, I went into Stratus because of the wind stopper.
Yep.
And because now I can wear my Fanatic light underneath it as a base layer, and I'll layer up underneath it. But yeah, more and more people. This is probably our number one best-selling piece right here at the store.
Yep.
The bibs and the jacket. But the thing about it, too, is you have to be smart with it. You don't want to, if you're going to long walk to your stand, don't wear it.
Yep.
I mean, dress close to your stand because this job of this is to keep you warm. And so it's going to trap your heat.
Yep.
And you're going to sweat and you're going to get cold again. And you're going to think this is the biggest waste of money.
Yeah. And then, once you start building up any kind of moisture from sweat or from whatever, I mean, that's pretty much game over. I don't care.
Yeah.
Like this will do you no good. But one thing you'll notice about this, like, so I wear this system obviously, and if I've got to make like a reasonably long walk, I backpack it in. I get dressed at the base of my tree. But even I think our bodies do a really good job of regulating our temperature and making sure that it's working to get us in, a stable situation. So you take a long walk, get to the base of your tree, you put this on, climb up your tree, and you're still sweating. Like, unless you sit at the bottom of your tree and just wait, for 5-10 minutes, whatever it takes, however long it takes for your body to, get to the levels where it needs to be at and you're not sweating because when you're sweating, that's your body saying, okay, I'm too hot. I need to sweat. When you're shivering, it's saying, okay, I'm too cold. I need to move around. I need to create more heat. So when I've done it before where I've gotten up to my stand and I've been like, I should have waited a little bit. I'm starting to sweat. Well, what's cool about like all the Sitka products is that they think of everything with them. And I don't know how they do it, but they've got vents. They've got, I can take and almost zip my pant leg all the way down and it lets air come through the suit, lets me cool down, zip back up. Once I get that stable temperature, and I'm good to go. So, and I've always been kind of the person that's gotten super cold in the stand. Like, I struggled with that, and I did what a lot of people do. And I'm not saying if it works for you, that's great. I'm not trying to say it's wrong by any means. But I bought one system, and I'm like, I want to wear this opening day to late season, and all the layering and all that stuff. It just nothing worked for me until I bit the bullet and I invested in my clothing, and this is the piece I ended up with, and I would never look back. Like, I'm telling you right now, I shoot a nice bow. Like, whatever, we work at the Real Shot, we shoot nice bows, but I would give that up in a heartbeat to have this over a nice bow.
There you go.
Like I'd shoot the Cruiser and have a Fanatic system rather than shoot the top of line whatever and not be able to have some of this technology with me out there.
So next year, Lance is only going to hunt with inexpensive bow.
We'll
find the cheapest used bow we could find that we get at the store.
But like you growing up, like so you probably haven't always had the top of line bows.
No, not at all.
And could you be accurate with those other bows?
Sure.
Like, I mean, I've had bows from.
I had a streak where I shot with no sights. Like, I mean, seriously.
Yeah, that's just. Yeah, so
and didn't say I killed anything that way, but I tried it.
And I always look back, I'm like, 20, 30, 40, 50, 100 years ago, I mean, people have been killing deer with strings and a stick, essentially. Like, I mean, so that part of it is
same argument. There's still guys killing deer without Sitka suits.
No,
but
100%. But I think this keeps you out in the woods longer. I
agree.
I think if you had to hunt in negative degree weather, and you don't have the proper clothing, I think your bow will perform. I think your bow will be fine, even if it's a stick and string. But I don't think physically, I don't think there's a lot of people that could stay out there that long and be focused.
Right.
Because if you're concentrating on being cold and trying to get warmer, you're not looking to see what's coming past you. Or you don't see that deer out of the corner of your eye. You don't hear them. You're shaking. Because I've been in the stand before where I couldn't control myself. Like, I was just shaking so bad. I'm so cold. I'm like, I got to go. Yep. That hasn't, knock on wood, hasn't happened to me in a couple of years now because of
Sitka gear.
Well,
or better clothing.
Yeah, better clothing.
Doesn't matter which
Yep.
brand it is. It's just better clothing. But for
Yep.
us, I mean, the Nomad or the Sitka, either one.
Yeah.
Make an investment in it. You're never going to regret it.
Because why would you wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning, drive and sit out in 15-mile-an-hour winds and 12-degree weather, invest all that time, that effort, that whatever, if you can't stay out there for more than an hour or two?
Yep.
Like, why would you do that?
Well,
like, it
especially
doesn't make
coming
any
up.
sense. And
During gun season is probably one of the biggest times for Sitka gear is because, or good high expensive clothing, because when everybody's getting out because they have lesser clothing at like 8, 9, 10 o'clock, and you're still out there, how many times are they going to push deer back into your area?
Multiple
I don't care what
stories.
you say, dude. Deer hunt us more than we hunt deer.
Oh, yeah.
I think there's a lot of trail cam pictures. I think there's a lot of evidence out there. I think as much as we think we're hunting them, I think it's absolutely incorrect. I think the deer know that we're there. And as many things as we want to try to do, scent control, nice clothing, bows, traction sense, rattling, grunting, I think, you might fail. You might spook or not spook. You might trick one or two eventually, but they know we're there.
Yeah.
They're not idiots.
100%. So.
Let's see here. We've been going on for just over an hour here. I know we want to announce the pumpkin winner here. Should probably do that really quick. Out of the questions that I kind of wrote down on here, is there one more that you kind of want to tackle? I think we've done a pretty good job with them.
Yeah, I mean, I think and that could be another conversation. I mean, we discussed maybe talking about trail cameras and whether or not that has its merits and that other thing. But I think, any takeaway for me with this is, you need to invest in your clothing.
Lance is 100% clothing. Now,
I'm 100% clothing. That's what I came here to
trail
talk about.
cameras, earlier, besides up to 2018, I think is when the Cuddy Link system came out. I would say trail cameras. There's been years where I've considered not using trail cameras just because they're more of a hindrance.
Yep.
Like I'm out there more. It's more all this, more that. Now with Cuddy Link, I think trail cameras are again one of the best things ever invested.
100%.
I would say
that technology has really changed.
Oh, for sure.
For a lot of people, that makes sense now.
Yeah.
It makes sense to me. I own it. It's pretty awesome.
Goes back to what you said. Your strategy for this year is less intrusion, right?
Yep.
The Cuddy Link system is going to give you less intrusion. And there's a lot of great cell camera programs out there. Don't get me wrong.
Yep.
But the Cuddy Link stuff is probably the tops.
Yeah. And that's not to circle back too far, but that's another time where I use that calming zone too. Every time I go out to check my trail camera.
Yep.
Because I got to use my fingers to get that SD card out. I'm always rubbing my tree with that stuff.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
And I don't have any like those real close up nose in the camera pictures. I've never had. I don't know if that's a coincidence or not, but I use the calming zone for that too all the time. I think and that's why I use it because I think it works.
I get a lot of nose up pictures, so I'm not using enough calming zone.
Yeah, just rub that stuff all over the tree, man. Seriously,
yeah.
Cake it on there.
I got one trail camera where I can tell it's a buck just because I can see the bases.
Okay. Yeah,
he's right. Doing one of these. He's like, what's inside there?
He's right in there, yeah.
Yep. But, yeah, I get a lot of – I notice I get a lot of trail or close-up nose pictures because I use stick and picks.
Okay.
Those posts, any of those kind of things. And then I think it's more of a curiosity.
Yeah,
again.
this tree just grew here overnight.
Right.
With this
Why is it glowing red or why is it flashing at times?
Yep.
But yeah, I noticed when I use I haven't had it last year. I had it on a heavily used trail, the stick and pick setup, and I love that stick and pick. It's phenomenal.
Okay.
But I actually had it last year where they were pushing the camera, they were spinning it, they were spinning it loose. So instead of it facing the trail, it would end up when I would go back over there, it would be pushed and looked in the other way.
Really?
I get pissed. I'd see it from a distance. I'm like, freaking people are in this woods, they're spinning my trail camera because they probably thought they got busted or something like that. But then you get closer and you look, your SD cards are in there, your camera's still working fine.
Yep.
You go home and you watch the pictures. It's just deer.
That's funny. Have you tried any of the HME smart mounts or anything like that screw?
I do have some of the HME smart mounts. Yep.
That's on my list because I hate the straps around the tree and then you got to jam a stick under it if your tree isn't sitting the right way and you got to kind of. So that's next on my list is to get a couple of those. I think that'd make my life a little bit easier.
Yep. And for people that are interested in that Cuddy Link system, we did do a video TRS live on. I can't remember what episode. I think that's way back in the 30s or the 40s.
Yeah, it's back there.
That's what John Volkman came here and the guys from Cuddy Back came here. That's an awesome one. But Black Friday, we're going to have an outstanding, real limited supplies of the Cuddy Link. it's a great deal. So, watch for that here coming up. Black Friday's coming up really quick. We're going to have some awesome deals on that. But I think we're just about in an hour. Now, what we did here is there's still some awesome things. We appreciate everybody sticking in on this one, But what we did is we did a pumpkin carving contest for Halloween this year.
Yep.
And I thought it went pretty well. I didn't get the monster huge, publicity that I thought it was going to do, but I think years.
Yeah, no, it should gain some.
And
it's
so
a pretty awesome deal. Like, why not?
Yeah, so $250 TRS gift card
Yeah.
for just carving a pumpkin.
Yep.
That's why, as much as I shared it, I can't believe it did get a lot more. But anyways, we had some awesome entries. Did you find the pictures of them?
Yep, I've got all the pictures here, and actually, this first one that I brought up, you can see it on your screen.
Yep.
You should.
Yep.
So that's from Brett Van Dyke here on Facebook. He's actually a friend of mine. He's been following our stuff and everything, so he put that on there, and I think that one's pretty sweet. I have everything,
cool.
so we can literally go through and rate them right here live.
Let's do that.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that a lot.
Why not?
Let's pick the winner right here.
Yeah. And there's no particular order either,
No,
so I'll let you know. I don't know if you guys can read
All
the
right,
names.
so what? 1 to 10?
On a scale of 1 to 10?
On a scale of 1 to 10, closest to 10 is the winner?
Sure.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, let's do it.
So we got 3 of us here, so one of us would be we got to get close to it. So we got a tiebreaker. So are we going to see them all first or just rate them as we see them?
We're just going to go as we go, I think.
All right.
I'm going to see if I can get that a little bit bigger.
So now
you.
your opinion is out on this one because you're biased because you know this guy.
Yep. So I can't say.
But you can be the tiebreaker if you need to.
Sure.
What would you say? So what are we looking at there? We're looking at a jumping fish. And so what we asked is,
and it's a bass. Like
Yeah,
I gotta
it's
see
a
that.
bass.
So he's been paying attention to our bass assortment that's been growing. So
and so
you
the
know.
criteria, we should just break down the criteria really quick.
Yep.
Is you had to have the TRS logo in there,
Mhm.
and then we asked to do something for the outdoor related, either
Okay.
fishing, hunting, firearms, anything like that. And so this one hits all correct. And he also hashtagged it with TRS 19 carve.
Yep.
Otherwise, we won't be able to see it. So this one, I like this one. This is a pretty good one.
maybe
I'm
it's
going to go out of 10, 10 being the best, 1 being the worst. I'm going to give it a 7.
Okay, I was gonna go 8 because I've carved pumpkins before, and that
That's hard.
looks like a tricky one right there.
So it's
like mine would have broken off. Like I would have had a half a fish sticking out the water or something.
So
but I'm gonna go 8. Yeah.
8 and 7. Zach, what were you thinking on this one? So we'll just say high score wins then.
Yep. So, I actually, I haven't looked at all of them. I really think that he actually put in a lot of work on this one to have, like, the actual full fish jumping out of the water, still incorporating a really accurate logo, actually. It doesn't
Really
look that bad.
Yeah.
I'd probably put it in 8.
Okay.
2 8s.
2 8s and a 7. So we'll just like Dancing with the Stars. We'll go grand total score.
Right.
Is the winner.
Let's do it.
All right. So we got Brett. So again, thanks, Brett. What's the next one here?
Next one we have is, who wants to show us here?
I like that one. Is it 2 different pumpkins too?
Nope, that's just one.
Yeah.
I see it. It
Two
just looks
angles,
Pink
yeah.
and yeah.
Just trying to bring it up.
This mobile warming gear I thought was another good one that could go with your Sitka gear.
Yeah. No, I definitely want to try some of that stuff out, like the socks.
Bluetooth capabilities?
Because I don't know.
Is
with-
it up
with
there?
you,
Just
but
let us know when you're ready.
It's always the feet that get cold. Like that's
Yeah.
and we looked into that one year, didn't we? Like buying Mickey Mouse boots and
Yep.
like trying
yeah,
to
we
keep
looked.
those warm.
Yep, from Jim Hole Sr., the gentleman who was like hunts the Edmonton bow zone.
So they're kind of, I don't want to call them a pain, but it's just something else to bring out with you. But the Arctic Shield
There we go.
boot warmers,
Yeah.
hands down the best product out there to keep your feet warm, in my opinion.
All right, we got the next one up. For some reason, the program decided that it was just going to freeze our video, but the audio was working the whole time.
Okay.
But no, so this one here is obviously a buck from Elizabeth S. on Facebook.
Elizabeth S.
Okay.
This is a nice silhouette of a
Yeah.
big buck.
Oh,
That's a good logo too. It
Yep.
looks smaller, so that means there's a lot more effort going into. Like, I'm not saying that like the logo is too small. I'm just saying like
yeah,
it's hard to keep those letters.
for sure. That would be that. That'd be like a cool bumper sticker. I want to talk to Elizabeth and see if she can mock me up a bumper sticker. 'Cause
Of the
that's
deer,
pretty
you're
cool.
saying?
No, that whole thing with the real shot on the side. That's cool.
All right. Well, Lance, what do you think here?
I'm gonna go 7 on that one. I mean, like you said, she's got some good detail in there. It's smaller, so it probably took a little bit more of a finesse approach to it, but it's pretty cool. I like it. 7.
Zach, what is your vote here?
Ooh, I don't know. I would have to say I think that there's detail. It's a silhouette. I think I'm gonna have to go with I'd probably go with 6.
I think I'm right in there too. I like it. Again, like, you know, we're not trying to bash anybody. We appreciate anybody. You know, anything like this. I'm gonna go with 7. I'm gonna go with 7. It's way better than any of these pumpkins are way better than I can
I'm
do.
just thinking if I was
So
tasked with that.
So we got So we got a 7, 6, and a 7.
Yep.
All right. Next one.
Next one.
Yeah, them are all good. It's way better than what I can do. Hence why I didn't participate. All right, here we go.
Okay.
All right, so this is Cassandra I from Facebook again.
Oh, nice.
A little dark on the photo, but you can see that there is a fish going after a hook.
Yep.
A little bit of
The mountains are in there.
Weeds down there with the logo.
Good detail on the weeds, yeah.
It is. Man.
That again, obviously, they met all criteria. TRS logo.
That one's cool.
Outdoor. Still hashtag the TRS 19 carve.
They must be fishing up on my property because there's no bait on that hook, but it looks pretty interesting.
Yeah, that was something I was going to point out. I'm like,
the silver shiny hook.
Baitless.
Just straight up creativity.
Baitless, barbless.
I got to write this name
Canada.
down.
Canada, yep.
Yeah, right.
No, who wants to vote first?
You're talking. Go ahead.
I'll go with a 7. There's a lot going on there.
Okay.
I was at 7 too. I like the detail. I think that one's maybe a little bit more detailed than some of them, but yeah, I'm gonna go with 7 too.
I guess as the guy that does some marketing stuff around here, I like everything. I just would wish the TRS logo was in a little bit better location.
Yeah, or if she could have provided 2 pictures so we could kind of see a little different profile of it.
So I'm gonna be a 6. I'm gonna be a 6. It's all really great though.
Yep.
These people are never gonna shop at the Real Shot again.
Oh, I definitely should.
Now we know how like MasterChef judges
Right.
feel. Like we want to be nice, but
right.
Yep.
They're awesome though.
Yep.
Okay, what's next?
We've got
man,
Kristen Potega from Instagram with a fly.
That's-
Big TRS fly, detail on the fly.
There's
Yeah,
details on the fly.
That one required a lot of effort.
Yeah, for sure. Matt, what do you think? What are you feeling?
I mean, look at that fly. There's like individual hairs and everything on it. The TRS logo looks. Man, I'm gonna have to. I think I gotta go. I'm between an 8 and a 9. I'm between an 8 and a 9 on that one. Can we go 8.5?
I'm gonna go with an 8.
You're gonna go with an 8.
Go with a solid 8.
All right, I'm gonna
definitely.
I think that's where I think I was more on an 8. Yeah, I'm gonna say an 8.
Yeah, I mean the skill's there. We don't sell a lot of fly stuff though.
Oh,
so I mean
Wolf River flies.
Yeah, but that to me that's an excellent like fishing fly. Very traditional, but the detail is I think the best we've seen. I'm gonna just to make it interesting. I'm gonna go 7 just because we don't sell a lot of flies like that.
All right. Well.
Right.
Hey.
So that's just
okay. They're all really good.
All right.
$250 to the winner of this one. Oh, here we go.
Rowdy Jam.
Rowdy.
Instagram.
I almost think just the name itself is worth like some points.
Jam.
All right, so we got
big TRS logo.
Big TRS
got the
logo.
Real Shot.
I
I think that's drawn on there too with the rest of the logo.
Okay.
And now I see on the side here there wasn't that many pictures, but the side is that a deer? I think.
To me, it looks like a deer. Yeah,
Is it a deer? Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I like how big the logo is on that one.
No, it's
it looks
cool.
really good too. And like you said, Either that or it almost looks like the real shot underneath it is like branded into the pumpkin a little bit.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Just on pure like how big the real shot logo is, I'm gonna go 8.
You go 8.
Yeah,
Wow.
I like because he really represented the real shot on that one.
No, that's cool.
And that's just pretty much it was the real shot logo and then something else on the flip side of it.
I think I'm gonna go 6, just because I don't know if there's. That might be a deer, but I don't know for sure. And that was kind of one of the requirements. And again, not picking on anybody for sure. These are all really cool, but yeah, I'm gonna go 6 just because I can't tell.
Okay.
Just from the photo, if I would have got a different angle, maybe that would have persuaded me.
Okay, Zach, what do you got?
I'm gonna go with 7.
All right.
Put it right between.
What do we do if there's a tiebreaker on this one? Who do we just try to issue like a discount code, Lance, for somebody that runner up?
I don't know. I think everybody that submitted a pumpkin should get some kind of a discount code. Like if
Okay.
they could reach back out to you with an email, if any of them are listening, I'll hook them up online and we'll get them a discount code. And
okay.
You know, I mean,
so all submissions. This is news of the game.
Well,
no?
well, why not?
Yeah,
I mean,
I
they went
agree.
above and beyond to do something. This is
Perfect. I like it.
Yeah.
Okay. Who do we got next here?
All right, next
I think
up.
there was like 8 total submissions.
Yep, 8 total. So we've got Super Goose 12.
Oh, dang.
TRS and a.
Big shed antler.
Yep.
Oh, man. Okay, so we got the goose here, Super Goose. I like the name, too.
Super Goose.
Oh, Trevor's on here. Okay, so. God, I feel like a real butt sometimes, like judging these things. Like, who am I to judge?
Right.
Well,
no,
today,
I mean, this is
Today I'm a pumpkin judger.
October, you got an antler. It's deer season. It's the rut, you know. I'm going 7.
Okay, 7. Zach?
I'm going to go 7 as well. It's simple, big logo. It's simple. Probably looked really nice lit up.
Yeah.
You know?
No, you can
Yep,
definitely,
like that. Yep.
So I'm definitely going to go with that.
Yeah, I'm gonna be the Len. It's obvious weird that I watched Dancing with the Stars, but I'm gonna be the British guy, Len Goodman,
Len.
the hardcore dude. I'm gonna say it's a 6.
Okay.
I'm going the opposite way. I'm going a 6. It's really good. It's really good. I just feel like it's a 6. Sorry.
Hey,
sorry.
It's fine.
Still opinions today on this show.
Yep.
All righty. Next up, from @ThinZ9, got
that one accomplishes a lot of things.
Yeah, they got traditional like pumpkin design in there with the smiley face, as well as some deer tracks and the TRS.
And the TRS logo.
Yeah.
Ties it all together.
Do you think maybe they were just like carving their normal pumpkin? They're like, oh, wait a minute.
Wait
I
a
should
minute,
be
the
doing-
real
yeah.
shot's playing this game.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I like it again. I don't know how they got I guess I was going to say, I don't know how they got the line in between the hoof like that. That's really thin. That's tough to do, I think.
So, and some of these, I think, they're not fully carved through.
Oh,
they're just
yeah,
almost dremeled or scraped out. So it leaves a little bit of that sidewall, but you can still see the light through.
Yeah,
makes it a little bit easier to have delicate details.
I'm gonna go 6 on this one.
Okay.
I'm gonna say 6. Going with 6.
Yeah, I'm right there too.
666, really?
Yeah.
All right.
It's good. Okay. All right.
All right.
Is this our last one?
It's our last one. Now, this one had a little bit more detail to it. We had it out front, but obviously I just pulled pictures to get the most of it. On the back, there was a crosshair. Yeah, you've got a lot going on here.
I was going to say, this is the
Whiskey
only one that
Outdoorsman.
they've done the crosshair in the O. That's detail.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's detail.
good point. And then you're saying
yeah.
on the back of the pumpkin, too,
Big,
there was
big crosshair.
big
And
crosshair.
They're even looking out for themselves and putting the TM, the trademark. in
Oh.
there. that's you can never be too careful these days.
And if
so.
I remember correctly, what do we got? A fish on the other side there?
I believe so.
Dang.
Wisconsin Outdoors, man. I'm going 7. I like it. There's a lot of detail.
No,
They
I
got
think
the
this
reel
one
and
is
the
like
L.
what Zach said, though. I don't think this one's carved all the way through.
Right.
This is just like take the outer skin off.
Yep.
Yeah, but it still works. I mean, the light's shining through.
Oh, yeah.
You can see what they're trying
So
to
this
do
is
there.
Wisco. Okay.
I mean, it's as far as accuracy with all the
Man, that is pretty accurate.
the reel, like the actual fishing reel and the L and the
Oh,
crosshair
yeah.
and the O. It's all there.
Yes, there is a fish. Oh, so Trevor is the one who created this one.
Yep.
All right. So did you say a score yet on this one?
I think you said. Did you just say 7?
7, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, 7.
Thinking of 7 as well.
Okay, 7 as well. Oh man, there's a lot of effort into this one. It's pretty accurate.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go 8. Now we got to total all these up. All right. Okay, so we got. Okay, so we got a 23 for Brett. Dude, are we gonna have some tiebreakers? 7 plus. Yeah.
Knock them down in an elimination round. Get some specifics.
So then Elizabeth got a 20. Then we had Cassandra. She is also at a 20, I believe. Yep. Okay. Then there was, Kristen, I think. She had
I think
23.
We got 2 23s. It's gonna be our tiebreaker there.
So we got to do Brett and Kristen.
Brett and Kristen. How are we going to do this? What would be the most fair way?
Fair way would get them both a gift card. Which one's runner up? Brian will be mad at me, though, if I give away two cards.
I mean, should we just look at
Let's look at their 2 pictures
both
again.
of them and
Okay.
just all vote? Let's come up with a winner here.
See, I almost feel, though, that fly one, I see your valued input with the fly on there, but I think that one had a lot more, I think just a detail on that, on the one with the fly.
Okay.
I could easily go a 9 with the fly one, I think.
Yeah, see.
You just think just because we don't sell a lot of fly fishing stuff, that's the only thing that's got.
And to be fair, it was TRS related.
All right.
That had to be. I think it's a great pumpkin, but
okay.
Yeah,
so
I mean,
we've got
just,
Brett's here.
Just my gut here is, I'm giving my vote to Brett.
Oh man, I'm torn. So we're gonna
think we got to break it down. I mean, it's this whole competition is based on our opinion.
I agree.
I think everything aside, I like.
So both of you guys would vote for Brett if you had to pick one or two.
Right.
That's my vote. Yeah.
Well, then I think it's Brett. Then.
You think Brett wins?
I think the Brett's because I would vote this one here. I would vote the fly one, but 2 versus 1, so Brett's the winner.
All right.
Are we okay with that?
I'm good with yeah.
All right.
That's a great
Awesome.
way. All right. So we'll reach out to I'll reach out to Brett. I'll get him and the thing about it is if he's on, if it's easier for online, we can get him an online gift card.
Yeah, whatever. We can facilitate that for sure.
But again, thank you to everybody that participated. I mean, next year hopefully it's a lot harder for us because there's way more submissions than.
Yeah.
Right.
But
yeah, I think if you're watching this or anything, you should definitely reach out to us. Send us your email. We'll hook everybody up who sent us in a submission.
Yep.
I really think that'd be a really cool idea just because there was only 8 people.
Yeah.
And I think you guys all deserve something for your hard work. So
no, I agree. This is fun. I think it is good. All right. Well, it is 1:30. We've been rocking and rolling for just over an hour now. I think we started a little bit later on, but either way, about 12:15ish. Thanks, everybody who stayed with us the whole entire time. Again, we'll be back here again on TRS Live. Remember, you can check us out on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, all that kind of cool stuff. Be ready and rocking for the new website that's coming along. And Black Friday awesomeness is coming your way, too. So have a great rest of your Monday, and we'll see everybody later on.